All right, this is AOK coming to you live. I'm a little late, but I am here. I just want to say thanks for everybody that will be watching this video either now or before. But tonight we'll pick one topic. I know I've been doing this Monday at 9. I just had some difficulty with the internet, but we'll continue on with the delay. But first of all, we'll talk about the United States. I put a post, made a statement. What is the United States is coming to? But then we have to look at what's going on and what people are doing and how they are being emboldened to do certain things. So now, with everything been said and how people say it, we have to realize that this country was nowhere near that we look to see it to be as a country of liberty. But we look at everything that's going on and how much is happening within 6 months. We have to take some steps back because all the things that we have passed, all the laws that we have passed, all the things that the United States stood for, stand for, is on rocky ground. So we look at these people in power, and we have to be discouraged and be amazed of what they stood for, what they standing for. So we have to look at how ironic that they get in office and they do different from what they believe in, which is the Constitution. We're not talking about their belief. We're talking about the Constitution where they take an oath to. So, with that in mind, we have to look at all of them that is defying the Constitution that they agree that they will defend. So, without a defense mechanism, we thank God for the courts. So they doing, I think they're doing a great job. They are defending the Constitution. They're not defending man rights or people rights to do things that they feel is right. So we thank for the courts. So if we look at the courts, they're fighting well and they are being challenged. But the most important thing that they are standing their ground. And but one court we look at and as the Supreme Court is sort of unstable, and I'll say that because they've been unstable because some of the rules that they accept or agree on to justify people doing certain things. But the Constitution is very simple. It's right. It don't take their rights away from people. When you start taking their rights away from people, that means that you're going or fighting against the Constitution. Because the Constitution is there to defend people. Because that's why we make laws, or that's why we have the Constitution to defend democracy or defend a person's right. So they are there for defense. So as we're looking at it, it's not standing his ground. I'm said in that order, and not standing his ground because it take people that take their oath for the Constitution to abide by it. And when we got people not abiding by the Constitution, there'll come a dilemma. So with that saying, I made a statement saying that what is the United States coming to? How will the United States get to a point that they come out of where we at now? Now we can look at it and we can dissect it and we can claim a lot of things. We can blame people, but it's certain to a point that we have to take a accountability to what we are doing. So we have to acknowledge those that are doing wrong, and they just have to be. In other words, they have to be investigated because you have to look at the motive, what they're doing, and how they're doing it. And you say, is there a right to speak out? Yes, is there a right to speak out? What's is right, not something that is wrong against the Constitution. So we look at all these people and we try to justify, most people do. We have to try to justify what they're doing. But when you're speaking true, you have to put down those things, those lies, those things that is pulling the nation down. Because without a true nation, without true democracy, people will be done wrong. People will be put in jail, set aside. So we have to fight for our democracy. We have to fight for the Constitution. And I believe that when we started at, people getting more knowledge and understanding of this Constitution and stand their order, stand their rights. So the biggest thing is voting. You know, we have to fight with voting, and sometimes even the voting is not a defense because we have so much going on with voting and so much happening, and so much people trying to change the system, change the district, change all the things that would jeopardize even voting. So you can look at having power in the federal, but if the states got people that in office that is not doing what's right, we still be in trouble. So we have to start put a mechanism in place that where the states cannot do what they do, or we can look at being Republican when they gerrymander the district that they can have more votes so they can have more power. So we have to put things in play now before it get worse because we don't know what can come after these 4 years or these legislatures that's in Senate. So we look at all of this and we put all this together. We will have a fight to defend, and sometimes can it be so damaged that that it can be no return. But then we have to look at that. Yes, we can get a place that is hard to return, but we can get back to a point where the United States was. So that would be the goal. Now, can we justify that? Yes. Most of the time, when we justify this, it's not trying to correct everything that the person or the people that were in leadership did wrong or tried to change the Constitution. We have to do what's right and continue and gradually focus on the things that we need to correct. But just trying to correct all and in a short amount of time, it would just he'll put this nation in more jeopardy. So we need to get in it, pass laws that will help the citizen, and that's my main focus, is help the citizen out first. This nation, it just if we look at it, it's just a word. A nation with states, well, it's just a word. But the citizen, they exist, they live, and they try to live by the law, and how much as they can. But here we are, leaders not supporting them, not trying to help them, and that's a failure for the nation. I believe that we get in and put things in play and pass bill that will help them, especially on helping people that have less income, helping them with the sustenance. Because we look at this, and I don't know how they can be so foul, but some people are that way. But it's a tight spell of money, and we should be able to help them and in a subsidy trying to help them live. Now, do people abuse it? Yes, but the percentage is so low it doesn't affect it, and that's why more looking at the application of what people receiving, because we have to look closer to these things. Yes, somebody gonna still slip through the crack of enforcing the law, but the higher percentage that is being helped, and that's the key. We can't concentrate on just 1% of people doing fraud and all of that. But now, if you look at the administration, it's the opposite. You got about 90% of the fraud going on and everything else existing. Then you got 10% trying to do what's right. So we have to look at that, and we have to fight with according to the Constitution and according to the justice system. You know, getting the favor courts that we can be successful. But the most important thing is sticking together and not giving up, because there's always hope on the other side. But the main thing that we need to focus on is not being so drastic in 2028 that we lose focus on our direction. We can't correct everything. We got 3 years a republic being in charge. We can't correct. Hopefully, midterm the Democratic gain control, and that'll slow and stop most of the stuff. But I hope that when they're in the leadership position, they'll assume the position and not just let anything accept anything that the other party is doing, because that's what it's gonna take. Anybody, whoever will become, will have to understand that if we, the Democratic win the House in the midterm, either or, it'd be helpful, because either or stop everything that's taking place. But that's the most consideration on that one. But it'll stop all the chaos. But then again, there might be more chaos than before. But I think if we focus on one main thing, helping the citizen out because they're gonna need it, and putting things back that will help them, assist them to be successful. And if we do that first, we can do the rest easier, because that let the people know that, hey, we're in office now and we here to help you all. And with that, they'll have a confidence in the government that we're all here to help them. And now, do race play a part of it? Yes, it's always gonna play a part of it. But when you see people as equal and you help people that really need it versus helping rich people, that's the balance of it. That's the equal of making bills and passing bills. Because you don't need to help the rich when they are billionaires and trillionaires, because they got their money. I don't care how bad times get, unless the value of money just disappear and that money is no good. But as long as they got money, they're gonna be successful. Price can be high as they can be, but they're gonna be successful. But the people low class and middle class gonna suffer. So you'll come to the point hurting people more than you will help them. So my goal would be is to help the citizen first, help them out of their dilemma. The United States gonna be okay, because it's just a state, a bunch of states together. They will survive. But if you focus on the citizen and not the passing of the laws, or not trying to correct all of that, so all the laws that the past administrator put in place of how everything is working, I will focus on the citizen first, get them situated, and as well passing a budget that is helping the citizen out, not helping rich out. And most people say, well, they abuse the system, but that's not our decision to make according to if they abuse the system. Our decision to make is to do what's right by the citizen of the United States. So we look at everything. Rich people do wrong with their money. But we don't look at it the other way. We always look at the poor people when they get some help and subsidy. We saying they're abusing it, but people with money abuse it as well, abuse the system as well. Most of them don't pay taxes as much as they should. They should pay tax because their taxes is very minimal. So we look at things in that order just to help the citizen, try to help them overcome their dilemma, that they can know that we are helping them out. So now I started out talking about the Supreme Court. I know that it's the highest court, and I would talk about some things, but I'm gonna keep it to myself and that point. But I'm gonna talk about the Supreme Court just a little bit. Now we understand we talk about this a lot as of now. We see and did see before now that how the Supreme Court was. Now, there's a lot of ways that we can fix this. We can't be afraid to fix it because it don't justify some of the things that they rule on and some of the things that they do. Because you got court cases is just been sitting forever and a day, but yet they feel the need not to look at them or not to have a decision on them. So we come to a point that know that they're not justifying the Constitution what they stand for, because they are judges. They're the judge. Their Supreme Court should be higher and understandable with knowledge to judge according to the Constitution. So now we have Supreme Court justify a person ideology versus the Constitution by judging right. Now I can understand they had nothing to base their decision on, but they have something to base their decision on, which is the Constitution and our laws. So it's an easy decision, and to do opposite of the Constitution and opposite of the law, that put this nation in jeopardy because now who can you trust? Who can you trust when you going to court? How you know you're gonna be, you know, tried justly versus being tried wrongfully? So we have to take thoughts and look at it and step back a minute and do what's right. And I know it might be a hard fix for people to understand. We got to do something. So that's my take on that. I tried to put it a little plain my thinking what we should do with the Supreme Court because it's just not right, because a lot of things taking place and not just trying to correct themselves, they always still doing what they do best, still get caught up stuff they shouldn't be doing. So we have to look at that and and fix the problem, not just keep overlooking it. Who cares about what the next administration gonna do? If we stand for the right, we'll be taken care of. Right would always overshadow wrong. So we have to do what is needed to be done because we got to do stuff that this country can go forward. We have jeopardized most of everything, either in our allies, either with the people that try to trust us, and then now we got every country that not our ally trying to be friends, the United States. So that's the troublesome thing, that the allies are running, but then all the other the I'm not saying they not the worst country, but they're not the best country because there's so much going on in their country, there's so much wickedness and so much crime. So that's not the United States. We don't defend the United States for all of this this falsehood we'll call it, because being friend with all these countries that we consider to be unjust, all the dictators and doing unjust things. So we should be friends with them. We should be fighting against all of that because we are a democracy. We are free to choose and do what we want, long as it's right. We have laws to fix what's wrong, but you still have a choice to do what is right and wrong. Ain't nobody stopping you. But if you do right, yeah, you'll be rewarded. And most of the time, doing right will get you to be abused wrongfully. But as long as you know that you are doing right, and as long as the system is right, you always come out on top. So with that, we have to take some steps back and just look at this country and everything that is going on, because it's troublesome as you looking on the outside and all of this taking place on the outside is so much turmoil and trouble. But we just thank God for just it ain't worse than what it is. But we just hope that everything that's going on, we can bounce back and we can look forward for a good future. So with the economy, we know that we'll somebody in trouble. We know who gonna be affected by this the most is the low income people. Middle class might be hit hard, but they'll survive because most of the mid class would say more how a a nest egg, call it saving money, investing, and making survive. But they'll still have a loss. But then those that got money, they ain't it won't affect them. But after all, we still got to look at what this country stands for. This country is a great country. It's it's accepted to being right. It's accepted for helping people. But like I say, right now either I'm looking at it now, so I feel like it's not going to fix things, but it will help things because you have to do what's going to help this nation, not going to help just have it to a point that now we start in the right place, but we got to help the citizen. Like I'm keep saying it, we got to help the citizen versus helping ourselves look good. Talking about we helping the citizen with something that not even helping them with. We're not fighting for them. So I tell people that how you do things and when you're in charge. I'm not so focused on the party. I'm just focused on whoever in charge, what they're doing, and whoever was in charge had opportunity to do it. And that's the amazing thing. They had the opportunity to do it, but didn't do it. We know that sometimes they make a decision and the court knock it down. But yes, they probably have to. I'm not knocking the court that stop, even when they stop some of Biden stuff. I'm not knocking them. I'm not judging them. But when we're in power, we do what's right. Some of these things could have been passed a long time ago. Get out of the way and be done. But we know that people can take things to court and the court decide. But there's always, like to say, you might fail in the lower court, but you can always be successful in the state supreme court and as well as I don't say the nation because the supreme court, the highest supreme court, is sort of in turmoil now. So we have to make those decisions to help each other. But I'm saying all this. I know it can be like very rough. It can be like you can't help me now. But sometimes we see that, but we have to look to our future. You know, the United States future look great. It look better than what is taking place. We're gonna come out of this. but we just have to do the right thing and face the consequences of what we do a year later. We just have to do it because it just ain't no way to keep letting it go by. Ain't no way just at knowing it. We have to do it. So that's the way it have to be. To stop the craziness, we have to do that. And sometimes I don't understand that people have to get the right information. I know some news stations they listen to us. Some people say a lot of things, but I always recommend people to research what's saying and go to different news stations just to hear different sides. I know sometimes it's hard, hear people say different from what you believe, but as in this world time, you have to do your research and figure out things, and you have to see and match it up. And like today, if turd is affecting prices, you have to study it, see what turds about, understand what turds are. Turds is not to help nobody. In other words, it's called chaos with other countries. That's about it. But it's not to help the citizen because if prices goes up, it affects a turd, and people don't realize that they affect you in your pricing. So now you believe in it as being helpful, but you have to look at the economy as well when you make a decision saying that is this good or bad. Now look at the economy, which was stable, but then now it's not. But prices is gradually going up, and the billionaires and millionaires ain't trying to help. It's like I seen a comment on I think it was Walmart CEO or president of Walmart. He say he gonna try to take some of the tariffs for a minute and for a while. Now with me and looking at that statement, and Walmart been in business for a while, and if Walmart loses $2 billion 1 year, but yet they're still got business. People still going into Walmart. People still buying. So why not take some of the bulk of tariffs? You go and I can say if Walmart didn't make their money, because if you can look at Walmart today, which Walmart lies sometimes do too, because the lower prices, but it's not. Walmart has become equal to all the other stores. You used to could go in Walmart and buy reasonable stuff, but now it don't got to the point that you can pay attention to Walmart prices how it went up versus where it used to be. Now we can look at it saying, okay, how and why the price of Walmart ain't staying low. You know, it just people trying to get richer. Now I'm not talking about Walmart by itself. It always the distribution places that Walmart getting their stuff from can have a money greed and want more money. But you still have to, you know, you still have to be jealous with the product you're selling and the price that goes with it. So I always tell people so much changing, so much happening, but I always say this world is the same. I don't care if the prices, stay the same or going up, but this world is the same. Prices should be the same because it's the same thing. You know, only thing that it might be the demand for the product is high, and that's when they want to raise the price. So we have to take that in consideration when we look at all of this and everything that's going on and business making their decision. Now I can look at small business and say, hey, yes, they gonna hurt because they might can't take the book of $500,000. But I know who can, the rich one that the millionaires And then someone's, I don't, you know, I'm like this. Some of the stuff that we pay for is sort of like we probably don't even need it. And most people say this is how we reach people. Yes, but especially these social media platforms, they is a gimmick. They take your money, but yet they ain't making no effort. But then you'll see the prices go up, and that's amazing. They ain't taking an effort to do anything. And the conflict part, you can't get no customer service when you need support, and it just, but they charge you for these products, these social media products. The that just me. I'm start rambling about them. I don't get on social media, but it's ill needed. But there's a price, you know, charging people the arm and the leg just wrong. But I would say to Don, I believe that we'll come out of it. We'll be successful. And just to encourage and keep the hope alive, and just hope that something changed in the midterm. You know, all these people running for office can change. It's like where I look at it, I know I have committed to running for president, and I didn't run for governor of Alabama this time. But it all on based on what was leading me, and I had prep for it. I had got some of my signs and stuff ready, but it's just something that hit me and pushed me towards this. So some of these videos I'm making, I don't have many subscribers, but they're gonna be a key point in me running when they look at these, when people can find these, and when I start putting it out publicly and nationwide. And some of these videos will help somebody to see my point of view and what I stand for. So the biggest thing is not being racist, but as in Alabama, I always look towards Alabama because it's my state, and I believe that we can win it. And when I was running for governor, I believe I could have run it, but the thing that got me, I started 2 months short of the primary, so it was a challenge. I was in the, I think I was number 4. I was behind the lady. They would choose. It was a time for the lady. Ain't got nothing against them, but I run on the true state of Alabama, and we needed a change, and that's what Alabama need. But I still think I can win the state. It might not be governorship, but I think I can win it as running for president. Because people have a different take when you're looking at governor. But all said and done, I think that you know I got hope. I can do it. I can be successful. But I'm just waiting for my opportunity. Like I said before, right now I'm just dealing with in-state, the surrounding the South, trying to send videos, get people to watch it. And I know now it's 3 years from now. People ain't really paying attention, but when it gets to that point, the video will be successful, and they would be helpful. But I'm gonna get ready to get off here. I did about 30 minutes, so I just want everybody to keep their head held high, stay focused, help each other, and this is prime time to show your support with people that need help. Show your support that with people trying but need support. But that's the only thing we have to do. We just support each other, get through this turmoil, get through this crisis. But we can make it. We always can. We are strong. It's just like being in the military. When I trained a soldier, I got to the point they trust each other, and that's the main thing But you gotta trust me because if you can't trust me, we can't fight. We can't depend on each other. So I know that we just have to trust each other, build from there, and just stay strong. And I get off here, and I hope everybody have a great tomorrow. This is Monday. Think for a moment. I believe that we can think about it, figure this out together as a team, as people helping each other. But I see you on the other side.